Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of The Tea where we'll spill the tea on motherhood. Yes, y'all, today we are talking about letting go. Let it go, let it go. You can't baby those babies forever. Let them go, let them go. Y'all don't like my singing? What? Okay, anywho, folks, today we are going to be talking about letting your children go. What phase did you realize that you had to let them grow up? But hey, does it mean when your kids become adults that you have to stop texting them 20 times a day? We're going to break it all down from the I can do it myself elementary years to letting them spread their wings as young adults. So go ahead, grab your cup, get comfy, and let's figure out together when to hold on and when to let it go. And speaking of keeping us going, let us give a special thank you, a fabulous shout out to our sponsor, USAA, for keeping the tea hot and the conversation going. So be sure to check them out at www.usaa.com/military spouse for all of your military spouse resources. All right, we are ready to get this party started. Oh, I was caught up in the beat again. And the sheet is not paying attention again. We're going to let her go.
I thought it was something in my nose.
You had something in your nose.
I thought I did. I wasn't sure.
You had a booger?
It's so hot. No, it was like this nostril started running for no reason.
So it was snot. You need to let that go.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Soldier's Wife, how you doing? All right, let's talk about then helicopter moms. Are y'all?
Hi, Julie.
You a helicopter mom? Because Grace has littles. Sheeta has a grown child. I have 2 grown and a high schooler. So Grace, helicopter mom? Would you consider?
I'm not a helicopter mom.
If helicopter means you put the little helicopter on them and then you spin them away, that's sad, boy. I saw a play. I see you at 6 p.m. It'd be 8 o'clock in the morning.
You know what, Soldier's Wife? Can I just call out who Soldier's Wife is? Should we call out her real name?
I already did. Look, I don't bust her just a few minutes. I know Grace was like this shit off the chain.
She already did. I was like,
because Julie, so you said that you have to be a helicopter mom because you have children with special needs. So do you mind if I ask you about your parenting with your special needs child? You can tell us in the comments, or I would love to talk with you on a video. And Julie was a conversation starter with us. So, Julie, I will give you a special pre-recorded interview so you can spill the tea. How about that? All right. So, ladies, when was the first time you realized you had to start letting go as a mom? And it was because you can let go at different stages, right? Like when they're toddlers or beginning walkers. Like, I know with my first, when she first started crawling, well, I felt a little, I was like, you don't need me to hold you anymore. But then I was like, thank you, Jesus. I was a little sad for like a day. And I was like, yes, okay. Until she started just pulling up. Like once they hit that phase of pulling up, trying to walk and pulling things off the table. Just busybodies. But was it hard for y'all to let go at that phase? No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Was there any
Honestly,
phase that
it
was
all
hard?
seemed to just fly by. Like I just had one long day, and then my son was 18.
So
I realized I
did
had to let my
y'all?
son go the day I dropped him off at daycare. Like I was like, I have to let this boy go. 'Cause
But you were like, okay, you're at daycare.
no, because I had to, because I was in the military when I had him. I was in the military for 3 years with him. So when you come off of maternity leave, you have to it's not like you could be like, hey, I don't feel well. I'm gonna stay here with my baby. They'd be like, girl, you better get your butt here. You go UA. Don't bring that baby. That's what they bring. Don't you dare bring that baby here either. But you better be here. I
You
don't know what
better
you're
be
gonna do back here, but he ain't coming here see bag. So you go ahead and you I knew I had to let him go then. But he was really good. Then he was not happy about leaving the daycare to go to I put him in a school when he was like 2.
Oh, I thought you was about to say he didn't like leaving the daycare to come home.
Oh, he didn't care. He was very like, all right, see you later, whatever, you be back. But then when he was about 2 and he had to actually get dressed and go to the school, he was like, I hate this. Like, what are these clothes you're putting on me? I usually have pajamas on.
I gotta get dressed. That's what sounds like.
He
Look,
was indignant.
I'll tell y'all, my middle daughter, when I would go pick her up from daycare, she used to be mad. I'm like, you don't want to come
I was having
home.
fun.
So my feelings were hurt. All 3 of my kids did hurt my feelings at different phases. Because my middle, like she loved going to daycare, but when it was time to come home, she wanted to be with her friends. I was like, that
But that's
hurt.
so cute, right? When they're little and they're like, I want to be with my friend. And you're like, what you know
You
about
don't
that?
need any friends. You got me.
You got
Shoot.
me.
Now, my youngest, I realized that I had to let go with her at about 3. Because, we're at the playground and you're pushing them on the swing, playing on the slides. And she told me, I remember this. We were in Japan. She had on some little sunglasses, her little poodle purse, and her pink and green Croc. I don't know why. She had a pair of pink Crocs and a pair of green Crocs, but she would wear one pink and one green. They would be on the correct feet, but she always wore one pink and one green. We're at the playground and I'm trying to push her on the swing, and she was like she put her hand up and was like she got, and I'm like, oh, my heart was broken a little bit. I think that phase hurt more than my kids going off to college. Right? I mean, it hurt. It hurt when they left for college. So I have 2 in college, but I'm like, okay, guys, ladies, you are off in college. I do ask them to text or call at least once a week, but I don't expect them to be in touch with me every day, all day. Y'all have any thoughts on that as the kids get older? Because we're just going to skip the middle and high school because we just are. Because y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all didn't struggle with letting them go.
That's Grace. Grace hasn't said, I don't know, Grace doesn't say anything.
Well, I feel like mine are little, so I haven't really had to like let go very much.
What about your sister? How'd you feel?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say with my sister, more so with my sister, of her like doing middle school and high school, there's all the different phases of like just being a teenager, wanting to go out with friends, you know, the different things, staying out later. I think that was more of let go than like with my own kids. So yeah. But I wasn't her mom either, so it was a different type of let go, you know, like I'm her sister, so it's a little bit easier, I guess, in the fact of like that's my sister, like you're not my kid. But in that like parenting role, I did have that like, okay, like I gotta just let her do her own thing, make sure she makes her own smart decisions type stuff. But I think for my youngest one, that was the hardest of let go when she started to do like the Mother's Day Out program at our church and stuff because she had never been in daycare or preschool or anything at all. Like she has always been with me. So yeah, I think that was the biggest go. But she had no issue. She was like, bye. I'll see you later.
Right, that
It was
part.
pretty cool.
Just like holla back.
Yeah.
But they're like, peace out.
Yeah, I mean they have their friends, so she was good. She wasn't worried about me. But she does want to come home though. She's not one that's like, "Can I stay?" Like she's ready. When I'm there, she's ready.
It took me so long.
It's like, no, I'm ready to go. Let's go. See, my middle is like me. She likes to talk. So she wanted to stay with her friends and just talk all day. Just talker. So Miss Anna here said, how you doing, Anna?
And
She said yes to the one long day, and now he's about to be driving. Now let's talk about letting go when your child is about to drive. So do we have any drivers? Anyone with kids? How was it with your sister when she started driving grade school?
Yeah. See, again, I didn't have an issue letting go because my sister was very dependent. I had to force her to get her license. I think we had this conversation before. Yeah, I begged her to get her license year after year after year because I did not want to be chauffeur anymore. And it didn't happen until after high school. So yeah. There was no let go issue. I think she was having the trouble letting go, not me.
What about you, Nishita? Is your son?
Son is very eco, like there are too many cars on this planet type person. Some people should bike. People should bike more. They should like that's more him. Like he's really not into it. But I think that once he like has to use these like thoughts that he has, like it'll come to him like I need to be doing this and this and that. But he's just like, no, because people should use public transportation. And I really think it's because in Japan we use so much public transportation. And those were like his formative years. So in his mind, he has this very Japanese way of looking at like, oh, you just, or if you were born in New York too, like New Yorkers have that same type of thing where they're like, oh, I bike to work or I caught the subway. I don't drive. Like Cardi B doesn't know how to drive. Like she's like, why would I know how to drive? We never had to. But if he gets to like where he's going and there is no robust public transportation or like any kind of like, I think he'll be like, what's another car on the road? You know what I'm saying?
Like one more won't hurt. One more won't hurt. Now my girl, so two of my girls, they were ready. Right at 15, they wanted their learner's permit, and driving at 16, they were on it. My youngest, because we're in Bahrain, you can't drive here until you're 18. So she does not have her learner's permit. But as soon as we get back to the States, she said she wanted to drive. Now, so both of our girls, so our oldest got her license in DC. Crazy driving. The other in San Diego. And that was a little hard letting go, especially with, okay, are you going to be driving within the neighborhood versus the freeway? So I didn't want them. It was hard for me to let go of them getting on the freeway or the 95, Interstate 95 or 495. DC, you got 95, 495, like 390, 290, whatever, all the 95. In San Diego, if you're going under 100, you're going too slow. You're laughing because you know I'm telling the truth, Grace.
I'm laughing because I grew up with California traffic, and so to me, it's not that big of a deal. It's not even the speed, it's the bumper to bumper traffic more so than anything. Of like, fender benders are just like a daily thing, and they're not huge major accidents, they're just fender benders. And I will say though, what I do like about California is there's a lot of ways to take the street. And that's why I encouraged my sister to get her license. And she was scared because of the traffic and the speeders and all the different things. But I was like, girl, you can take the street. Like, you can take the street anywhere you want to go. It might take longer, but you could take the street, you know? So, yeah.
Look,
I'm
I
more
took
scared
the
for
street.
other people driving than like my sister driving or even my kids. Like, I feel like, you know, you raise them to be responsible, respect the laws, those type of things, but just be a defensive driver because of other
Right.
people, you know?
That's true.
Yes. Now Anna says, but well, she said that she's having trouble with letting go, but also ready for him to go ahead and move out.
She's like, I love you. You stay.
Well, but you know what though? I'm now down to one.
Yeah.
One in the home, and you
How's
know the
that?
other two. It's a little different. She talks to me more. We have more conversations now, but they have a sister group chat that apparently they be tearing me up in. I'm like,
You probably
now
catching
that's
some
how to
strays in
let
there.
go. Do what?
I said you probably catching some strays in there for sure.
I am. I know I am. Like, you know what? I'm gonna cut all y'all's phones off. I don't care if you don't live in my house anymore. I'm gonna pay your own cell phone bill. Shoot. How about that? Now that brings me to this because you know I do have 2 college students and I'm in some college mom groups. And I see moms talking about that, right? If their kid doesn't call them every day or answer when they call, they ask, is it acceptable to turn off their phones? Do y'all see that as a control mechanism?
Yeah, definitely.
Because, you know, I'm like, I want you to check in. If you're leaving campus, if you're going on a trip, let me know. Now, if you're going to the store, you don't have to tell me you're going to the store. But if you're going away for the weekend, just let me know. You don't have to call me every day. You don't have to text me every day. And the whole tracking app thing, what do y'all think about that for teenagers and young adults?
We do like to find my iPhone, like the location sharing.
Yeah, I do. I
More
do
for
that.
like a safety thing, but I'm not there like checking it, you know? She'll be like if they're going hiking or something, her and her boyfriend, they'll be like, "Hey, we're going hiking now. If I don't call you back in like 3 hours, you know, try to call me or try to whatever." Just a heads up so we know where they're at, like if it's not in like a public place or whatever. So things like that, I think it's great. But now if you want the location so you can like constantly be like, "Why are you here? Why are you here? What'd you do here?" Then no, you probably shouldn't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, I consider that like you're still
Yeah,
helicopter parenting at that point.
right.
And look, I don't want to know. We have the Find My iPhone. We do have Life 360. My oldest has turned her Life 360 off. Which I'm like, you ain't gonna turn it off. I want to track. I want to look where you are anyway. Shoot, but she has her Find My iPhone on. But I'm like, it's more for safety. And I really don't want to know your every move. I don't, because so there's an article on our website where I talk about that. I think it's on our website, or maybe it's on our sister site, Mamas and Coffee. If my mom knew where I was, if my mom was tracking me when I was in college, I was always, well, not always, but Sunday nights I was at Denim and Diamonds. My mama didn't need to know that I was at Denim and Diamonds. That was my club.
Like as
I
a
was
person
thinking,
who was untrackable as a child and like as an adult and young adult, I'd be devastated if someone could just like I do like Grace said, I share my location with, you know, my family now for safety purposes, but if they were the type of people who were just always checking me, I'd feel kind of weird. Like, why do you know I'm at 7-Eleven? Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I was getting a secret slushie. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. But you know, my son made this really good point. He said like you feel like this because I was talking to him one day and I was like, you know, people are out here tracking their kids and they're not even parenting anymore. They're supposed to be letting go or whatever. And my son's like, you feel like that because you grew up at a time where you couldn't track people and no one was tracking you, and that you weren't as like inside of the social media stuff. So social media is very tracking. You know, it's very like you're snapping all the time with your friends, you're constantly in contact with each other, your family and everybody through social media, through messaging, like iMessage and stuff like that. And he was like, if you grew up like that, he said, you don't even consider that the kids might like that. They might like that their parents are tracking them. They might like feel safe that their parents are looking at them and trying to help them solve problems every day, like these little small problems. My son couldn't get a ride here and there. Like, you boy, you better figure it out. I'm out there. Like, you know, but he said that I don't consider that the people in his generation, the younger half of his generation, that they probably need that kind of support because they've just had it their whole life. And if their parents just were to just send them to college and not continue that, it would be kind of devastating for them. And I was like, oh, I never thought of that. That they
but
wanted them. I know I'd be
but
like, stop it. Leave me
but
alone.
at what point do you wean your children from that? Because even like after college, you're now an adult. Like you're an adult in college too. But hold on, let's go to Grace's segment real quick, and we're gonna come back and finish this discussion.
Okay, so real quick, I had a little bit of a messy explosion in my freezer not that long ago. So I just want to remind everybody that when you put drinks, juices, milks, any type of things that are in jugs or gallons in your freezer, if you do that, I have to because my youngest loves milk and I can't be without it. Take it off, pour a little glass, or just take some out of your container and then reclose it, and then freeze it because it will expand. And you don't want those things to explode. So make sure you have room in all of your drinks and jugs before you freeze things. That's my There Ain't No Way for today.
Oh, shoot. There we go. You know what, Grace? When you said that about any drinks, I started laughing because we have some laughing. I'm laughing at this because I told my husband, I was like, I'm giving up wine. No more wine. So he got me some alcohol-free wine or alcohol-free beer, right? Non-alcoholic beer.
Did you put it in the freezer?
He put
I was gonna say, if it doesn't have alcohol, it's gonna fully freeze.
and he told me, he was like, yesterday he came home, he's like, oh, you don't seem upset with me. I'm like, why would I be upset with you? He's like, oh, you didn't look in the freezer, did you? I'm thinking, no. The bottle exploded.
Yeah,
I'm
even
not
real
cleaning it up. I refuse to clean it up. It's going to stay there.
real beer explodes too.
Anna answered the question. She said her husband said to wean at middle school. I agree with your husband. You have to start weaning the children from solving every problem for them too. Like you can't solve every issue for your child the rest of their life. Yeah, I mean, I still call my mom and ask my mom for advice, but she's also like, last time I checked. I'm like, dang, mama. See, I can say that freely, Nashida, because my mom's not watching today because she told me she was going to miss the show live because she had an appointment. So I can talk freely right now. But
She watches that replay.
if I hear her knock at my door, I'll run and hide.
Grace, do you
Yes.
know what I left in the freezer? The last thing that exploded?
What did you leave?
A big bottle of Saratoga sparkling water. And if you ever had sparkling water explode in your freezer,
Oh man.
Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, Ashita, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just looked down to see that someone just came in and started watching. You know who it is?
That's what you get.
I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry.
That's what you get. She heard you
I gotta
telepathically and
go.
popped in. Like, what you say?
She heard you. Her ears are ringing.
Yep, got you. Catch.
Ooh, what she said, your mama is watching. She's at Red Lobster eating.
She's watching for Red Lobster. She got you.
But she can't yell because she's out. She's
She's
won't. Okay, go ahead, Nishita. Talk about your explosion.
I was just telling Grace that that's all. That I
So remember your drinks because they'll freeze and pop.
so bad. It was so bad. I never had anything explode like that because it didn't explode like in like just crack.
Mm-hmm.
It like had little shards of glass everywhere, and the water immediately, I guess, because it had bubbles in it, just created a layer of
Yep.
a sheet of ice.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much cleaning. I was like, oh my gosh, this is
See, y'all, look, we are hot messes over here too. Like we just be over here just
I'm not claiming
in a
that.
hot mess. Okay, I'm gonna do my segment real quick, and then we're gonna close it out with the final question about this particular topic. But I will let you guys know that on the 25th, we're not going to be here live. We are going to do our event, Nishita, why are you looking like that? That means you did not read the last update.
I didn't see
Grace, would you like to inform Nishita of the message about the 25th?
Yeah, we're having the conversation that people can come join us. We won't be live. It's on the 25th. It was in our chat. So yeah. But we'll see you there, everybody. Please sign up and come.
That registration will be coming to you tomorrow. So make sure you pay attention to the website, check the newsletter. But we're not done. I'm gonna do my segment real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I just removed myself. Okay, here we go. So my segment, Stroke Talks. Wanted to let you guys know it is common for stroke survivors to experience anxiety after a stroke. They may have never dealt with anxiety pre-stroke, but post-stroke, they may be dealing with some anxieties. This can happen due to changes in the brain function, depending on the area of the brain that was affected by the stroke. The amygdala, I believe, that particular area controls your anxiety functions. And I'm one of those people now. I've never suffered with anxiety pre-stroke. Now I am always like just an anxious little Energizer bunny is what I am. Fear of having another stroke or adjusting to life post-stroke is also common. And it's okay to admit that you need support, to meet with a professional about your anxiety and mental health, or contact a friend if she's not paying attention, Nishita, and talk to them on Voxer and tell them the same thing 50 million times about how you're feeling for the day. Yes, Nishita has to listen to me over and over on Voxer about the same thing, but she patiently listens. Except when she was here, she came to my house the other day. We actually went out to breakfast, and she almost made me cry at breakfast. Make me feel my feelings. Feel my feelings. Okay, final question before we leave, before we wrap this up. How much do you think your own parents' ability or inability to let go influenced the way you parent today? Just touch on it a little bit because we are going to really dive into that on the 25th during our event. Go.
1000% relates to how I parent. I was on major lockdown basically my entire childhood and through high school, so that, yeah, 1000% affects my parenting style.
1000%.
Same. I grew up in a very strict household, so I think I was more like free with my child because I wanted him to be able to talk to me about things and like really share himself with me and not feel like he had to sneak around or do stuff on his own all the time. And he could share his life, not just be restricted so much. And so like her, 100% affected the way I parent. Not that it was bad, because I don't want anybody in my family to think, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it was strict. That's all I'm saying. It was strict.
Now, I will say, I used to think my mom was strict. And I realized then, but I didn't want to admit it, Mama. I'll admit it now, but I didn't want to admit it then. I thought you were strict, but you were not that strict. She was, she just wanted to know where I was going. And I was a typical teenager. I didn't want to tell her where I was going. What you need to know for?
What you need to know? No, just
and I say that I used to have a mouth on me, y'all. But we'll talk about that on the 25th. So y'all make sure you look for the registration and come. This is on the 25th. The conversation is when you really get to know the conversation starters. We can really talk about things.
Surprise.
All right. Everyone have a fabulous day. Thank you for tuning in. Tell your friends about us. Like, follow, share. And if you would like, you can buy us a coffee right here. And one final shout out to our sponsor, USAA. Thank you for supporting us. Bye. Let them go. Let them